Wagwan, my loves. Sipping on some tea. It's Knowledge Butterfly. As always, sending you guys out peace, blessings, love, and abundance. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo my chakra spinning exercise video because my sister, she messaged me this AM and told me, sis, your video was complete darkness, and I love the darkness, subconscious mind, so it's cool. However, it's not really what you want your video to be like when you are giving people a visual instruction guide on how to do an exercise. Is really beneficial for clearing and aligning your chakras. It's a great exercise for balancing your chakras. It actually causes for you to release a lot of stagnant energy, which that stagnant energy is your negative emotion. So if you haven't cried and things of that nature, it'll actually help you do that so you can release that stagnant energy that's been sitting there. Because once something is moving and spinning, it actually starts to spit out, energy, or spit out emotions. Because energy, a lot of people say emotions are energy in motion. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Before I get into the exercise of doing your chakra spinning, I want to shout out my tea. I did a Trinity. This is Dun Quay, Wild Yam, and St. John's Wort. St. John's Wort. I'm going to do a video after this because I want to talk about the female reproductive system, which is tied to your sacral chakra, and of course your root chakra as well, because all that's dealing with reproduction. And whenever you think about the reproductive system, think about the sign of Scorpio as well, and you can also think of the sign as Aries as well. And that's because the female reproductive system is shaped like the ram, and I gave a example of that in one of the last videos that I did. And so you can check out. I've been posting some videos on the last few days, so you can check those videos out because those are starting to relate more with the astrological or constellations, so astronomy, the constellations in your body, as well as animals in your body. So as above, so below, and how those things, how everything is everything, basically. All right. Sip on my tea because I like to sip it while it's warm. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I really, I'm going to have faith and trust that you guys can see my screen. So now I have to show all my windows. In this one, I was, make sure y'all can hear it. Check. Was attempting to use this service called StreamYard so that I could go live on YouTube, because with StreamYard you can actually connect and go live on YouTube. However, it was some technical difficulties. I'm gonna have to play around with that some more before I use that feature. I definitely was excited to do it live because I've never done live, but it's all good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this information right here. I found this information as I was looking for an image of a Torus field, and I'm going to get into what a Torus field is. But I was looking for information of a Torus field so you guys can get a visualization and see when I'm speaking of a Torus field. I wanted you to see what I was talking about. In my previous videos, it would just be me in front of the camera, in front of my iPhone, and I would just be giving you guys out information, and I'll be reading from my screen, but you couldn't see my screen. So, trying something a little different so you guys can see some of the information. And a lot of times, you'll find, like I found this through Google, just looking for, like I said, image for you guys to see the Torus field. This site is called soul-guidance.com, and the life field transformer. So shape of the aura, a Torus. So basically right off the bat, it's letting you know that your auric field is created by a Torus. And think about a tornado when you think of a Torus field. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that. Sip some more tea. All right. It says clairvoyants who are able to see the human aura have described the shape of the aura as a torus. For example, Barbara Brennan, a spiritual healer, has painted the different layers of the human aura as in this picture. Although there are different layers to the human aura, they all have the torus form or are different frequency levels of one and the same torus. So you can just really think about an onion and how it has the different layers. That's how your torus field is. It's layered with different frequencies, and the torus field starts on the inside, and I'm going to get into that some more. All right. So what is a torus? In geometric terms, a torus is a surface of revolution generated by revolving a circle in three-dimensional space about an axis coplanar with the circle. So three-dimensional, a lot of times when I think about, or the epiphany I got last night when I heard of three-dimensional, was I was thinking about your crown chakra, your heart chakra, and your root chakra. And the reason why I utilize those because those are checkpoints. This is the beginning, and the crown chakra is the beginning, the heart chakra is the middle, and then the end is your root chakra. Even though I know you have your earth star chakra too, and I'm going to get into that chakra when we get into the chakra spinning exercise. But I think about that trinity. Even though your heart chakra is really what creates the biggest vortex, remember there are different layers in there. So each one of your chakras is actually creating a layer or vortex. Okay. I did a video talking about the X and the Y chromosome, the X chromosome representing the feminine energy, and the Y chromosome is the masculine energy. And I talked about the X and how the X is the perfect shape, geometric shape or geometric letter or pattern for the two triangles that represent the divine feminine. Because when you make an X, so you know what? I just noticed that I'm not seeing my picture. Hold on a second. I like to see my picture because it lets me know that, oh, I have it optimized to full screen. That's why. Figured that out. Anywho's, the X, I was going to make an X. The X, you see, the top part of an X is a downward triangle, which represents the feminine energy, which makes a V like a vagina. And then the bottom part of the X goes up, and it's making the upward triangle shape, which is representative of the phallus or the penis. And that's why the ancients would make these statues, which are considered grotesque now because we've made sex and sexuality taboo, when sex in ancient times was sacred. It meant that, and it was sacred because it was a way in which that life was created. Okay, so it was the way that the divine feminine and masculine energies came together to create life, and that's why we understood that we were gods living in a human body, because God creates, right? All right. So, anywho, we're going to go ahead and get into it. And the X is a very important geometric pattern or shape because the X is actually what's creating this torus field. Your torus field is an X. Shout out Q Reeves again because he was talking about how we're X-Men, because the right hemisphere of our brain controls the left part of our body, and then the left hemisphere of the brain controls the right part of our body. So it's literally crossed like an X. All right. That's also representing the divine feminine energy. And I also talked about in one of my videos that I posted yesterday that the reason why Osiris, the deity Osiris, was seen in his funerary rites when he's going through his burial process, wrapped up like a mummy, that he had his arms crossed like this, and that was a sign of him coming from the mother and going back to the mother. And you know, in Black Panther, the Wakanda Forever, they did this. That's the mother, right? Going back to the mothership. You came out of mothership, you're going back to the mothership. Well, if you so choose. You'll go back to the mothership in a form because the astral plane is still the mother, but as I explained in previous video, it's purgatory. So anywho, you just need to check out those videos and get more information on the X and the Y chromosome. And you actually might want to watch that before you watch this video. Now, so If the axis of revolution does not touch the circle, the surface has a ring shape and is called a ring torus, or simply torus if the ring shape is implicit. Now, I also brought up, because I received an epiphany about this last night, that's another reason why when you get married, you have a, oh, my fingers tripping. Maybe because I'm working on strengthening my, because it's much easier for me to do this on my right hand, so I have to strengthen my muscle memory, which is, there we go, on this. So your ring finger. Your ring finger is circular, and it's circular because it's also representing the Torus field, is representing that completion and that wholeness, and is representing your electromagnetic field. We are all made up of electricity and magnetism, and the electricity is actually going to be the front of your the front side of your body, and the magnetism is the back side of your body. Shout out Universal Frequencies. He was saying that's why niggas are so attracted to the ass, because they're looking at the back of the woman. That's the magnetism. You being drawn to it. All right. So, in other words, a small ring goes around along the tube. The tube, your body is a tube, while the large ring goes around the entire length of the tube, from the top to the outside to the bottom to the inside. Because the torus has a vertical axis. Vertical, we know, means straight. That's your chakras. The empty donut hole. It will rotate both horizontally while also flowing vertically. So it's going in both directions. It's going horizontal and it's going vertical. So think of the directions: north, south, east, west. All right. That's a very good way to look at the patterns and the flow, right? So the horizontal going this way is what we're going to do with the chakra spinning. All right. In relation to the human aura, this ring-shaped torus is stretched up and down. If we draw some lines on the torus, we have, I have to go back up. Look, it cut off. If we draw some lines on the torus, we have, what do we have, guys? What do we have? Oh, they're just saying we have this image. Y'all have to excuse me. Like, I was literally looking for, what do we have, some words. But this is giving you the shape and the pattern. And again, this is the X shape. This is the X shape. You can see the X lines here, here. So this represents the divine feminine energy, the downward triangle, and this is the erect phallus. All right. And they're creating these waves, these energy waves. So the way your torus field works is it creates, as it's moving, horizontal and vertical. Now, so the horizontal is your chakra spinning. Your chakras are spinning, they're spinning, they're spinning. And out of your chakras, they're emitting energy. The energy is going to flow up from the root chakra all the way up to the crown, come out, and then it's going to spill over like this, and it's going to be sucked back in. So that's the example or the image of the Ouroboros. I'm going to pull that up. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. All right, Ouroboros. The Ouroboros or Ouroboros. Anytime I see a U, I pronounce it as an U, because in ancient times, that's literally how it was pronounced. That's how double O's are pronounced. That's why we say moo for a cow. So there's an U, all right? Because moo is the mother. Now, so the Ouroboros is an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or dragon eating its own tail, originating in ancient Egyptian iconography. The Ouroboros entered Western tradition via Greek magical tradition. It was adopted as a symbol in Gnosticism and Hermeticism, and most notably in alchemy. So first off, it didn't originate in Egypt. The ancient Egyptians are descendants of the ancient Atlanteans and Lemurians, just like we are. They're ancient black civilizations that came from the greater civilizations during the golden age of time. We're in the Kali Yuga period of time. And the Kali Yuga period of time is a period of destruction. It literally means when the pendulum has swung to the right, meaning it's swung to materialism when it's supposed to be on the left path, not the left path, really the middle path. So we have the left path, which represents the mother. We have the right path, which represents the father. This is in Jewish religion or tradition, which all religion and information stems from this ancient information. All religions were created because of the information that was stolen from ancient Egypt. That's why ancient Egypt is still so highly lifted up. And also ancient Egypt is so highly lifted up because they can find tangible information, because we were at that point putting things on walls. We were writing and creating these symbols and shapes to explain um, how the human body works and how we can get out of this body and not reincarnate, how we can successfully die. So that's why that civilization is so lifted up, because the ancient Atlanteans and Lemurians, that information sunk to the bottom of the ocean because we did some shit, like some real shit with technology, and we destroyed our civilization. We destroyed our land. And so it sunk to the bottom of the ocean. It returned back to the mother. Remember, the waters represent the mother. You have to go back to the mem, okay? Because everything is water. Anywho's, so that's why ancient Egypt is so lifted up. However, so the left path is the mother, the right path is the father, and the middle path, which is your chakras, represents the child. The correct path to take, the most powerful path to take, and the path of self is really the middle path, because the left path represents the DNA strand of your physical mother, and the right path represents the DNA strands of your physical father, your earthly parents, that DNA bond, that contract you made. So that is kind of keeping you in the flesh. That's also keeping you on the tree of life. That's keeping you in the ego. That's making you become a better human. That's why you're focused on humanity. That's why you focus on helping Black people and saving babies, as Brother Pennant likes to say all the time. And that's really, I'm just getting these downloads and epiphanies right now about these two paths. We're only representing the tree of life, which is the front side of the tree. All right, the front side of the tree represents the light, what you can see in the visible spectrum of light, from the colors of red to purple or red to violet. Whereas the back side of the tree, the magnetic side of the tree, like the front of our body is electrical, all right, the back of our body is magnetic, which represents the mother. That is the path of the darkness that's going through the middle path. And the middle path has a emanation or a sephira that's called Thoth. Daath, Darth Vader. Thoth represents your subconscious mind. So when you take the middle path, that's the only way you enter into Thoth. Not saying that the left path and right path, you don't have crossover. So you can always bring yourself back to middle. But in order to reach Thoth, you have to come back to the center. You have to marry and make a perfect marriage and union of the two hemispheres of your brain, your mother and your father. Okay. Now, wow. I got into way more than I planned on getting into. Y'all got extra. I didn't even get into all this last night. So the ancient Gnostics, these were ancient Egyptians as well. These were latter-day Egyptians. These were the ones who were really, really adamant about hating humanity, about hating this earth. And a lot of times we think of hate as being negative. Hate can be used in a higher vibrational frequency when it is hating something that is not righteous. All right. So this earth does not operate in righteousness, meaning it doesn't operate in the heart chakra space. Just like you would hate somebody who molests children, or you would hate the act of molestation. You would hate to be around somebody who beats on women. You would hate that act, or beats on children. There are certain things you should not applaud and just say, just give them love. Same thing with quote unquote white supremacy. You should hate white supremacy because it is a class construct that keeps some people up and some people down. Some people at the crown chakra living the life. Some people in the root chakra stuck at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And that's the different levels, classism. You have to work your way up the ladder. But in spiritualism, you learn that you're working your way up a spiritual ladder, not up a physical ladder, like how the job, you have to climb the ladder in corporations to get higher positions or titles. Okay, I'm gonna go back here because and Hermeticism, that stems from Hermes, like an Hermes bag. That stems from the god Thoth, or Tahuti in ancient Egypt, which is the one that they always attribute all of the writings and communications, also the 7 Hermetic principles, aka the 7 laws of Tahuti. All right. If you look at this image, the purple image, you'll notice that it looks like an apple. And that's why they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, because an apple is actually a physical representation of a Torus field. So when you're eating an apple, it's actually giving you that electromagnetic energy, which is a balance of the yin and the yang. So it says, always keep in mind that the human aura or torus shape is not a fixed static form, meaning it's a continuous moving energy. So universal energy from all around a person streams into this dynamic form, flows along its field lines. And the field lines, you can even think of the field lines like your meridians. It's flowing in your blood. You're like, I relate the meridians in the blood vessels as being the same thing, except for the meridians are a less denser, meaning that they come off as invisible. They are not included in the visible spectrum, whereas your blood vessels are. They're more of they're a physical, more denser form of that energy. All right. Now the torus is a waveform. Remember, we're creating our own waves. Don't never let a nigga ride your wave. All right. So instead of riding other people's waves, you're creating your waves. You're making waves. That's literally what you're doing when you're spinning your chakras. You're creating your own wave, and you're increasing your magnetic field. You're increasing your attraction rate, so you can attract the things that you want to attract. That's why going down this middle, you are creating more positive vibrations, and I'm going to talk about that when I do this chakra spinning. Where was I? So like a surface wave on water that has its existence only by the movement of water. And I talked about last night, if you throw a pebble in the water and then it makes these rings. It makes multiple rings, not just one. So remember I told you that in your torus field, you have multiple layers like an onion. That's the same thing as a whirlpool. You're creating all these waves that are going out into the ether, into the universe. All right. You gotta start to think of yourself as more than what you've been told you are. All right. So the human aura or torus has its existence only by the continuous movement of universal life energy or prana. So I also had an epiphany last night about prana. The reason think about prana in this way, because prana means spirit. It also means breath. So when you're breathing in and out, you're breathing prana, and that's like breathing the Holy Spirit. So when you breathe in, you notice how you do this motion. In, breathe out, it goes out. So when you're breathing in, it's like bringing the energy up. And when you're breathing out, you can bring it down and out of your body. So think about the whole thing where your body is, or your chakras when you're doing, in your torus field, the energy starts inward. So that's the breathing in. The energy starts inward and then it flows outward and then it comes back in when you're doing with your torus field, when it's operating properly. So people whose torus fields are moving slow or weaker, those are people who are dealing with physical illnesses or dis-ease. And all in all, your torus field is really created by your mind. A lot of people don't realize that your heart is a mind as well. It has a mind of its own. Okay. And that's literally also a division and a separation, because you have your ego or your left brain that wants to do one thing, your right side of your brain that wants to do another thing. The heart is the center. It's like bringing those two together. You have to bring those two together in order to really connect with your heart chakra, to move to different levels of your heart chakra. Okay. Excuse me. Now, so it says, it is the human mind that has created the shape or structure of the torus for the length of a lifetime. When the mind withdraws, the torus shape ceases to exist and the physical body falls apart, which means the physical body is going to die. If your torus field no longer exists, the physical body is pretty much out here. It's pretty much gone. All right. So you're going to be divided from the physical. Although the torus shape of the aura has a boundary, it sits in the universal life energy field, which is unlimited or infinite. So it's sitting in darkness. It's sitting in the invisible realm, your torus field, whereas your physical body is in this physical reality. So your torus field is in the unlimited space. You don't have any boundaries. You have no limits. There's no sky's the limit. The sky's the limit maybe for this physical body, but there is no limit for your torus field, your energy body. All right. This is also the reason why we are all connected at all times with everything else in the universe. Here is a nice example of a torus as a dynamic form, spinning, flowing, and spiraling. If you notice in this equation, it starts with V, the vagina. Just letting y'all see that energy flow right there. You see that light glowing in the center? That's your heart chakra. Okay. I also talked about in one of my videos how the each chakra actually has that X pattern because each one of them has to filter out energy. All right. Each one of them is moving energy fields. Okay. Um, However, I talked about how the root chakra um, for men is actually a Y. That's why they grow up phallus. Okay, because the bottom part of the Y is the phallus. This is the blueprint and the instructions. This is the blueprint and the instructions. My sister's messaging. She just did the chakra spinning exercise and she's tired. And that's what I was saying in the video. I'm going to talk about that too. But the the top part right here represents that the phallus is coming from the vagina. That's the mother. It's coming from your mother, and then the bottom part is your phallus or penis. All right. Now, because the torus is a dynamic structure, it spins not only around its vertical axis, but the ring itself revolves around its circular axis. Therefore, incoming energy particles that enters the torus structure will follow a spiral path. The image to the right is from a fusion research center showing the path charged particles take on a magnetic torus field. And they're just showing you the plasma and stuff. I really won't get into all that. Here are two more pictures giving you an alternate viewing of the spiraling. So you just see, again, this is the X and it's creating that vortex above you. There's a vortex below you. And that's what we're actually going to not only tap into the 7 chakras, but we're going to deal with the Earth Star chakra, which shout out Khadija Sambi, because when she first showed me the exercise, she deals with the Earth Star chakra as well, which is something I deal with. I deal with that chakra and I also deal with the cerebellum chakra, and sometimes I deal with the soul chakra, soul star chakra, which is right above your crown chakra. Now, the torus is a very interesting shape we find in nature and in the cosmos. It is a very stable flow form. The torus flow form is similar to the rings created by the smoke of a cigar. That's why the ancients, I just got an epiphany, that's why the ancients would smoke. The smoke was what formed that torus field, and we saw that as going up into the heavens and going up to the ancestors. And so we would actually send that smoke up as a physical gift, or what's the word I'm looking for, offering to our ancestors and to our higher self as well. Because remember, we have a higher self. We're not just a physical body, we're multi-dimensional beings. All right. So the cigar smoke whirls inwards in top of the smoke ring and comes out again in the bottom of the ring. It is constantly flowing inwards to come around on the other side, flowing outwards. We find the torus form also in hydrodynamics, where it allows fluids to spiral inwards and outwards in the same surface of the torus. The torus allows a vertex of energy to form, which bends back along itself and re-enters itself. It inside outs, continuously flowing back into itself. Thus, the energy of a torus is continually refreshing itself, continually influencing itself. Again, that's the X, geometric X pattern. It's always whatever comes out goes back in. It's constantly refreshing itself. That's why women have orgasms mainly internally. All right, whereas men are ejaculating, therefore they're losing life force energy. That energy is not going back inside of them. That is why men are normally really tired after sex, because they're giving away their life force energy, whereas women, we're bringing it back into ourselves. We're continuously regenerating ourselves. That's another reason as well as why Black women age so well. Now, not all, but when we're on point and in sync with self normally. So planets have a magnetic field with the shape of a torus. This is Earth's magnetosphere. Earth's magnetosphere is also called the Van Allen belt. And you notice it's making that donut pattern, and then this line right here, these lines represent poles in the Earth as well. The straight pole and also the tilt. This is Jupiter's magnetosphere. Our sun has a large toroidal field surrounding it, the heliosphere, that is itself embedded inside a vastly larger toroidal field encompassing the Milky Way galaxy. We live in a big torus field, y'all. We live in a big donut. And so when you see that whirling pattern that looks like sacred geometry, That's a Torus field. Everything's a Torus field. Everything starts. That's like the Big Bang. Everything started from the Torus field. And so when the intelligence that we call the universe wanted to know itself, wanted to see itself, it created a Torus field. And so it started to regenerate and recreate itself. And so as I showed you in that other picture, with the energy starting to spread out, it started to create outside of itself. A new study shows for the first time that a torus of gas and dust naturally form around the nuclear black hole as material falls in towards the nucleus. These pictures are really amazing. A torus is primarily associated with a magnetic field. Field lines are coming out from the magnetic north pole and enter the magnetic south pole. A magnetic field from a magnet, for example, is static, but magnetic field can be made to rotate, and then we have a dynamic torus system. All right, and they're showing you like the south and north pole, south and north pole, yin and yang, same thing. This shit right here is something man-made where they're trying to create their own torus field. They're trying to tap into alternate realities and things of that nature and other dimensions without doing the soul work. They want to do everything physical, and that goes back into the difference between the melanated mind, the indigenous mind, and the European or the Caucasian mind, is because they were created here on this earthly plane, which I won't get into the science of that, and we came from the celestial plane. They only know this reality. So it's very difficult for them to tap into their right brain and actually reach their heart chakra, because you can't reach your heart chakra till you tap into your right brain and balance those two together. You got to marry the husband and the wife. If you don't marry the husband and the wife and create that union, which is your child, then you cannot get into the gates of heaven. You cannot tap into your heart chakra. Jesus said, you cannot, no one can get to my Father but through me. You cannot get you can't get to the mother but through the heart chakra, right? So anywho, whose magnetic fields are rotated by the construction of toroidal coils, loop perpendicularly around the donut ring of a torus, which is used in a tokamak fusion reactor. And then you can look at this. This is like the boobs, the woman. This is like the butt or the buttocks. This shape is you start to see it in everything. Rotating magnetic fields with the resulting torus field shape seems to be the principal propulsion drive of flying saucers, according to certain people who have been on board them. The field encompasses the entire craft and also creates separate time-space unit that can be moved by using the non-local universal field. Your torus field is not contained in any type of time and space. All right. I think the human aura is very similar. I see it as a self-sustained magnetic field. This is somebody's opinion, that has its own time, space, and is intimately connected to the non-local field. All right. So if you look at this example, now you can actually visually see where they got the angel wings from. That is your torus field. And in the ancients, they saw your angel wings, your torus field as your angel wings. It allows you to fly. All right. You're creating Metatron's cube. You're creating this powerful electromagnetic field. That's why you have to empower your field, which allows for you to travel anywhere, because time and space do not exist in this field. Okay, so now we're going to get into this exercise of chakra spinning. All right, so Khadijah had recommended this book. It's called The Healer's Handbook, and this is an adventure into hyperspace, or a journey into hyperspace. All right, this is a 5th edition. So in the 5th edition, it has a dolphin on it, and I definitely understand why they have a dolphin on it, because the dolphin is tapped into the highest frequency, which is considered to be heaven, and in this book they call it hyperspace. Okay, so the first thing I want to do before I get into the exercise, because the exercise talks about the colors. So I'm going to give you the colors of each one of your chakras first, which I know you should know, but I'll still give it to you. This is the example in the book, showing you the body, showing you the different chakra points, and showing you the colors that correlate with those chakras. All right. So The first one is going to be on the soles of your feet. The soles of your feet, that's called your Earth Chakra or Earth Star Chakra. And the color of that is brown. In my video last night, I said that you can think of it as a dirt, but living in Georgia, we have Georgia red clay, Georgia red dirt. So you can think about it as brown dirt. You're planting something. I normally think of it like a medium brown color. I actually normally think of it like my color, my complexion. And then the next chakra is your root chakra. Your root chakra is going to be pale. Oh, hold on before I get there. So let me tell you the amount or the height of that you're going to go for each one of your chakras. So when you think of your Earth Star chakra, it is from the soles of your feet to the to where right where underneath your hip bone. All right, right underneath your hip bone. That is the length. So that's going to encompass all of your legs. All right. Also, when you think of your Earth Star chakra, you're going to think about the bottoms or the soles of your feet being connected to the soul and earth. All right, the core of earth. Now I'm moving to your root chakra. That's a pale red color, and that chakra is going to cover the points of your hip bone to your pelvic bone. All right, to your pelvic bone. That is your root chakra coverage. Then what they call the creative chakra is your sacral chakra. That's going to be right above your pelvic bone to your navel. That's a pale orange color, pale orange. Your solar plexus is going to be a pale yellow color, and your solar plexus is going to start right above your navel to right below your breastbone. All right. Your heart chakra is going to start right above, well, right at your breastbone to your clavicle. All right. And that's going to be a medium green color. Your thyroid or your throat chakra is going to start at your shoulder area, and it's going to go all the way to the tip of your toe and tip of your nose, and that's going to be an ice blue color. All right. And then your pineal gland is going to start right here, the middle part of your nose, and it's going to go up to right in between your brows. All right. And that's going to be a royal blue color. And then the last one you're going to do is your crown chakra, which is a violet color. And your crown chakra is going to start from like right above your eyebrows, your brows. And then it's going to hover about 2 to 4 inches above your head. All right. So now we're going to get into the exercise. Now I'm going to read the exercise as they have it. I'm going to start off reading the exercise as they have it. When Khadijah taught it, she taught it in this manner, which is spinning your chakras. I do something a little different because I received a download and epiphany that you can utilize this exercise to balance your right and the right hemisphere of your brain and the left hemisphere of your brain so that they can work together. And I remember when Khadijah was talking about this exercise, she was saying that you want to do it in the AM because it gives you energy and you'll be up all the time. So I started doing it in the AM, and I realized that I was really tired. I felt drained and tired. So I had started doing it at night, and it was actually helping me sleep. But then I went back to doing it in the AM, and I was winding up going to sleep and back to sleep when Malia got here. And I was like, why am I so sleepy? And it was because of this chakra spinning. So I was going back to sleep. But that's literally because your body is clearing out and cleaning out things. All right. It's balancing itself out, and it's you're expanding your auric field or your Torus field. Okay. So if you have to go to work, you may want to start this on the weekend, like if you're off on weekends or whatever your off day is. That way you're not tired at work. So you can try to do it in the AM. If you start feeling that you're tired, then you can do it at nighttime because it'll help you sleep. And then the more and more you do it, you'll realize that it is giving you energy, because now I am always energized. The last couple of days I have not gone back to sleep with Malia. So now I'm at the point, because I've been doing it every day. This is an everyday exercise. This is not something that you do one day and skip the next day. If you're really serious about it and cleaning your auras, this is something you want to do every single day. You're cleaning your chakras, you're strengthening your auric field, but you're strengthening your magnetism. But you're strengthening your magnetism for what you want. All right. So I'm going to read what it says. Here we go. This exercise is best performed before getting out of bed in the morning. You may spin the chakras either. Oh, and shout out my sister Nini, because she just texted me and told me she just did the exercise for the first time and she's really tired. So that's what I'm telling you guys. All right. Giving you a fair warning. So, anywho's, you may spin the chakras either clockwise or counterclockwise. You want to, in order to figure out which way works best for you, you want to start off. I started off clockwise and then I tried it counterclockwise, and I realized that the counterclockwise felt weird. It did not feel right. So I stuck with the clockwise. And so that's what works for me. But yours may go counterclockwise. There is no right or wrong. All right. One direction is not better than the other, which is they just said that. But all chakras must be spun in the same direction each day. So if you're going clockwise with your root chakra, you go clockwise with all of your chakras. You don't have one going one way and the other going the other way. That's literally creating dysfunction in your organs, which is where your organs, I said your organs, yes, not just your chakras, that's creating dysfunction. So you definitely don't want to do that. That's why a lot of people are actually dealing with dis-ease and things of that nature, is that's because their chakras are not in alignment. They're not spinning. Most people's chakras are not even lined up in the middle. This is literally helping you visualize your chakras and line those bitches up. Okay. So you're going to start with your lower body first, beginning with the brown section. You're going to visualize the color in that area spinning in and around the body. And after you spin the first section, you're going to move to the next and spin it. Keep going until you reach the crown chakra. Spin all the colors in the same direction. Chakra spinning aligns all of your body's energies for the day so that you receive the optimal energy from each energy center. You may also spin the chakras again in the same direction as the morning and the early evening. If you have a traumatic day and find yourself extremely tense, you may reverse the chakra spin in the evening to calm yourself. Begin by spinning the crown chakra in the direction reverse to the morning spin. Do not use this particular technique frequently, as it tends to deactivate the body's systems. Use only in times of extreme stress. So they're saying if you're extremely stressed, then you can do the chakra spinning in the evening time, but you're going to do it in the reverse way, meaning you're going to start with your crown chakra and go down to your root chakra. All right. But you only do that in extremes. Reason why you're going from the bottom to the top is because, remember, we're raising energy. We want it to move like a Torus field. The Torus field goes up and out and it comes back in. So we want to be increasing our Torus field. The opposite way, going down, is to ground you, and it's to calm you down, literally. All right. All right, so now let's get into the chakra spinning exercise. All right, so I told you where to start, but I'm going to talk you guys through this. And if this is something you guys like, even if you don't, I feel like I might start doing videos with doing just for chakra spinning exercises, so we can get together as a collective and do some live videos on YouTube, and we do chakra spinning together. Okay. So, all right, now let's get started. The first thing you want to do is take you some deep breaths. So take you about 3 deep breaths to relax yourself. You can either spin your chakras. I didn't bring up this point. You can either spin your chakras standing straight up. You can spin your chakras lying down on your back, which is what I do. Or you can spin your chakras sitting down in a chair. All right. Now, after you get calm and you've done your breaths, you want to start to do your visualization. So you're going to close your eyes. You're going to visualize the traveling down into the center of the earth, and you see a golden light, which is the inner soul of the earth. You're going to picture spiraling waves coming from the earth, and those waves hitting the soles of your feet. And then at that point, you're going to visualize a brown wave. I should say a brown circular wave, or what I also like to call a spiraling wave, like the golden mean ratio, swirling in between both of your feet. All right. And then that swirling pattern. It's moving up and up and up until it reaches right below your hips. Now, as you're visualizing this wave moving, this pattern moving, as it continues to spin, it starts to sparkle. So think about when you're cleaning something, and in the commercials, the cleaning commercials, they show like after you clean the dishes, it's sparkling. So think about a sparkling light. It's still brown, but it's starting to sparkle with gold flecks. Think about it that way. So you keep spinning. You're going to spin each one for 2 to 3 minutes. All right. You're visualizing this in your mind's eye. So you want to have your eyes closed and only focus on the area from the bottom of your feet to the bottom of where your hips are. So all of your legs, your feet and your legs. Now you're going to move. Well, before we do that, now you're going to think of a chakra affirmation, or an affirmation that grounds you to your Earth Star chakra. For me, I just say an easy one. I am grounded. So you're not going to speak it. You're just going to think it. You're going to think I am grounded as you're still spinning your chakras in your mind. All right. I am grounded. You're going to keep saying it multiple times until you feel that you're ready to stop. Now you can keep spinning this. Well, I shouldn't stop, but move to the next color. Now you can keep saying this affirmation and doing the spinning until you start to feel the bottom or the soles of your feet start to vibrate. But if you've never done this before, it's a possibility that you won't feel anything at first, and that's okay. There's no judgment. Everybody's in different places. So you can spin it until you feel like you've done enough and you feel comfortable. You can even put yourself on a timer and only do 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can move on to the next one. So now we're going to move to the root chakra, right? The root chakra is a pale red color, and that pale red color is going to start in the inside. So it's going to start for the men, it's going to start where your phallus is. For women, it's going to start where your clitoris is. So you're starting in the entry part of your genitals, all right? That's where that pale red color, and then it's going to expand and get bigger and bigger. And remember, it's covering your entire body. It's going from the inside all the way to the outside, a swirling red pattern. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to see the pale red color from the bottom of your genitals to your pelvic bone, spinning and spinning and spinning. And you're going to say an affirmation or multiple affirmations. I do. You can continue to say I am grounded, because that's still, you're still connecting to the earth with your root chakra. I am stable. I am secure. I am grounded. I am stable. I am secure. I am grounded. I am stable. I am secure. I am grounded. I am stable. I am secure. Okay. And then when that chakra starts to feel squeaky clean, you're going to envision that chakra having red flecks, sparkling red flecks of light, swirling through that pattern. It's squeaky clean. Then you're going to move to your sacral chakra, which is a pale orange color. That's going to start right above your pelvic bone to your navel. All right. You're going to visualize in the inside of your womb, ladies, prostate for men. You're going to visualize a pale orange spiraling light moving through, and then it getting wider and wider and wider till it's encompassing, circling your whole body like you're hula hooping. All right. Okay. So you're going to do that. And then you're going to start saying your affirmation. And the affirmation can be, I am creative. I am passionate. It's another one that I actually say, which I just started saying, and it's I am fertile. When I speak of fertility, I'm not just speaking of having physical human babies. I'm speaking of creating the life that you want to create. So you are fertile. You are fertile ground to create whatever you want to create. Right? Still seeing that pale orange spiraling color. All right. Once you feel like it's starting to feel better and easier to do, then you're going to see orange sparks of light in that spiraling pattern. So you're squeaky clean with your sacral chakra. Right? Then we're going to move to our solar plexus chakra. All right. This is the last of the earth chakras. This is the last of the ones that are tied to physical human shit and human trauma, right? So your solar plexus chakra is going to start right above your navel, and it's going to end right below the breastbone. You're going to picture inside of your body a pale yellow light starting on the inside of your body. It may start very small, and then it starts to get bigger and wider and wider and wider till it's encompassing your entire body. And you're going to picture it spinning and spinning. And once it gets a good spin, that's when you start your affirmation. And a good one for your solar plexus like is I am confident, I am and I have strong willpower. I'm confident and I have strong willpower. I am confident and I have strong willpower. I am confident I have strong willpower. And you want to keep saying these. Remember, your affirmations should actually always relate to the present. So if you're creating your own affirmations, make sure that they're speaking in the present moment, never the past, never the future. Okay. So you're again, it's the whirlpool pattern going on with your solar plexus chakra in the pale yellow color, and then once it feels squeaky clean, then you can see like gold flecks. All right, in that chakra. Now we're going to move on to the heart chakra. Heart chakra starts at your breastbone and it goes all the way up to your clavicle. That's the amount of circumference that you want to utilize. So you're going to start on the inside of your heart chakra, seeing a medium green light. When you think of green, think about nature. Think about the colors of the leaves when they're at their most vibrant in the springtime. Think about the color of the grass, all right? Money's green. But yeah, think of nature, all right? So then you want to see that starting in the center of your heart, and then it's starting to get wider and wider and wider. And once you get a good rotation spin and it's wide, then you want to start your affirmation. And it is, I am unconditional love. I am forgiveness. I trust. That's a really big one, because the heart chakra is where a lot of people are fucked up because they don't trust anything. And that starts in your heart chakra. So I am unconditional love. I am forgiveness. I trust. I am compassion. So I just gave you 4 right there. So you're going to keep saying those affirmations. All right. Keep saying those affirmations. So you start to feel like it's squeaky clean. Then you're going to see some sparkling green flecks like emeralds. Okay. Then the next one you want to move to is right at your shoulder blade, into the tip of your nose, and that's going to be your throat chakra. That's an icy blue color. You're going to start, so in the inside of your thyroid and your throat chakra, you're going to just see that pattern emanating and starting, and then it's going to swirl and swirl and swirl till it's encompassing your entire body. And then once it has encompassed your entire body, like when you was hula hooping around the net, ladies, then you want to go ahead and start saying your affirmations. And one really good affirmation, I don't say that many for the throat, but one very good one is, I speak my truth with authority. I speak my truth with authority, and I trust my truth. I speak my truth with authority. I trust my truth. All right. So you want to keep saying that, or whatever affirmation you come up with until it feels squeaky clean. And then you're going to start seeing like silverish, sparkling, or silver sparks within that spiraling vortex. Then you're going to move to your next one, which is your third eye chakra. And we're almost done. Your third eye chakra, and that's going to be a royal blue color. All right. And that royal blue is going to start in the center of your nose, and it's going to go right in between your brows. So you're going to see that royal blue color starting in the inside near your pineal gland area, and it's spinning and it's spinning and it's spinning until it spins out and it's encompassing that area of your head. Once it spins out and it's encompassing that area, then you want to say your affirmations, as I trust my intuition. All right. I am psychic. I am the vision. Those types of things. You want to just speak your affirmations, and then when it feels squeaky clean, you want to start seeing some sparkling like gold and silver flecks in there. And then you get to your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is going to start to like where the forehead area is, and it's going to go up to about 2 to 4 inches above your head. You're going to see a violet color starting in the inside of your head and moving around that the area that joins your left and right hemisphere. You're going to see it starting there, and it's going to swirl around, and then it's going to come outwards and create this vortex. And then once your vortex is created, then you're going to start saying your affirmation, and that is, I am in tune with my divine self. I am my divine self. I am in tune with my divine self. I am in tune with the cosmos. All of these things, or whatever affirmation that you come up with. All right. And then so after you do that, you're going to just keep allowing it to spin and spin and spin. And what you're going to do is you're going to start to visualize all your chakras spinning. All your chakras are spinning and they're creating that pattern. They're creating the pattern. That's like the X, creating that pattern. And you're seeing your magnetic field move around and around. And it's moving horizontally, and then that horizontal movement is causing for the energy to rise up inside of you, because that's why you went from your root to your crown. It is rising up inside of you, and it's filling out and coming out of your crown chakra. Then it's going back into your earth star chakra, and then going out your crown chakra, going up through your earth star, going through your crown. And you're going to just picture that over and over again. And then if you don't already feel it, what'll happen is you'll start feeling your whole body like vibrating from the tips, from even your fingernails. Everything will feel like it's vibrating and pulsating. That's literally your body cleaning out yourself. And then your auric field, when you picture that just being squeaky clean. And whatever the first color that comes to mind, that is most likely the color of your auric field, because remember, your auric field takes on the color of whatever your emotion is at that time, even though you have different colors within your rainbow. All right. So that is how you do chakra spinning, my loves. I really hope this information helps you. Excuse me again. Shout out Khadija Sumbi, because she's the first one that I ever heard speak of chakra spinning. She also recommended this book, and it just goes to show, when you trust your intuition and you start doing something, your divine self will tell you what works best for you. And so this other stuff that coming up with the sparkling, the affirmations, the Torus Field, all of that came from my higher self. Okay. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber. Also, just to let you guys know, I am not just Knowledge Butterfly. I have an alter ego. Her name is the Holistic Energy Alchemist, and she is the one who really, really, really loves all of this shit that's dealing with chakras and things of that nature. So I created my own business called Heal Soul. And Heal Soul, we actually focus on doing distance Reiki healing sessions, focusing on each one of your chakras. And when I'm doing the distance Reiki healing sessions, I'm also doing chakra spinning on your chakras as well. And I'm clearing those out and speaking life into those chakras, so we can clear out that stagnant energy, and we can allow that energy to flow. To flow more freely, so you can have a healthier spiritual, emotional, and physical body. All right, because that's really what it's all about. It's all about that having that holistic balance within self, so you can tap into your true self. All right, so you can reach out to me, guys, on my Facebook page. You can actually book on my Facebook page for Heal Soul. That link is in the bio. And you can book a free consultation. It's 15 minutes. I either do the consultation through Zoom, which is what I'm using right now for this video, or I do the consultation, or you can get information on a consultation from my Instagram if you don't have a Facebook. All right, and then we can reach out and start from there. But Facebook, I actually have a button where you can do the booking, and choose your date. All right, your date and time. And then you can always get information from my Heal Soul page on Instagram as well. So you make sure you follow that page, because I'll be posting information like the Torus Field and things of that nature. Also, you can follow me on my Knowledge Butterfly Instagram and Facebook pages as well. So that's all the information I have for you guys. I appreciate you for staying this long, but this is really important information, and I don't care how long the video is. I wanted to make sure that you guys had a great understanding of what chakra spinning is, and also give you guys the exercise in detail. So I appreciate you guys so much. Peace, loves. That was fun.